Hi, this is TLBurriss of Burriss Consulting, your LinkedIn trainer, coach, consultant, and instructor. One of my clients sent me an email this morning and said, Teddy, I don't understand all these different analytics that are built into LinkedIn. Would you help me understand them and how they can help me in my business? And rather than send her an email or do a one-on-one coaching, I asked her for permission to create a video that I could share with you guys as well. So there's lots of analytics built into LinkedIn. I want to make sure you're clear that they're not on the same level as Google Analytics or some of the other analytical tools are out there, but they are pretty decent insights into who you are, how you stack up, how your profile ranks, how your content ranks to others on LinkedIn relevant to how you present yourself. So let me start with the first one that most people look at. It's the one called Who's Viewed Your Profile. You can get to who's viewed your profile right here. Click on, people viewed your profile the X number of days. And there it is, who's viewed your profile. And you can see that each week that your rating can go up and go down dependent upon what you're doing in the activity over here. You see on the week of July 19th through July 25th, you can see I had 106 views, but it's based on 127 actions. And I did more actions this week than I did the week before, which probably was the week after July 4th. And I shared 39 updates, commented on 31 updates, added 19 connections, and liked 17. Those are very simple activities within LinkedIn that can create views. You could create activities outside of LinkedIn as well that could create some views for you. So when you look at this, don't just look at the number and don't just look at the people. Go to the analytics and see what happened that caused those views. What happened to cause these to go down? You can see that my actions went down 27% compared to the week before. And then here you can see my actions went back up 54%. Some other things to pay attention to besides just that is look at who's viewed your profile based on titles and based on industries. This is important as well. I want to know, are the right people looking for me? For me, it's important not just to know I had X number of views, but who's viewed it, what industries, what titles. If you're a long-form post, if you're writing articles on LinkedIn, who's viewed your post is important. And for me, that's important because I am a LinkedIn author, so I do pay attention to who's looked at my posts and how often. And I do encourage people to not only see who's looked at my stuff, but again, what industries, what job titles, where they're located, where's the traffic come from. It's important as well. Sometimes this analytic information here is far more important than who. It's the who is that person, their demographic information. And the third piece of information on this page right here is how you rank for your profile views. And this is a very, in my opinion, it has to be very unscientific because there is some contradictions of this data. If I look at under my connections, and it says that I rank number 65 out of 5,300, well, that's important, and I can see the people who are above me, but then I can also see people who are ranked below me on this page. And I wonder why they're ranked that way, because there are people who I do trust in my industry. But go back to professionals like you. So there's 94 of them on LinkedIn. I rank 3rd right now. And these two women right here, I absolutely respect for who they are and what they do. But I equally respect a lot of these people down here, who they are and what they do, and wonder, what is the algorithm for LinkedIn to come up with this? I think it's okay, but I would love to understand it more. For me, it just puts my activity, my profile, my network, my relationships in some level of comparison with other people who are again, professionals like me. So look at who's viewed your profile, who's viewed your post, and how do you rank, and I'll just give you some insights. The other thing to look at on LinkedIn is look at your activity. And so it's right here under profile, your updates. And actually, it starts right here on the home page. It starts right here with a particular post that's probably getting the most activity 245 people viewed this picture that I shared. I'm not a big picture sharing guy, but I decided to do a test and just to see what would happen. And I got a little bit of engagement. You see 245 people saw this, or it showed up in their timeline. By the way, this number right here is only visible on this one item right here. Nowhere else have I been able to see how many views I have on my post as far as pictures and status updates. But right here is how I go see who's viewed my updates under recent activity. If I go look at that, then you can see here's my activity, here's the articles I've published, here's the number of followers I have, and you can see that on the stuff that I share, such as that picture, 4 likes, 2 comments, and then come down here, I shared this as well, I got 1 like on that. And this gives you some insight on what kind of content your network wants to see. You know that when they like it, comment, and share it, it's content that's important to them. For me, it's important to find out what content I'm sharing and make sure it is important to my network. So another analytic to do is to look at your group activity. Now here's a group that I'm in, got 1,000 members, and if you come over here on the right, you see your contribution level. Now, if this is a group that's very relevant to who you are, what you're all about, you should be engaging in this group. You should be commenting. You should be starting a discussion. And when you do, the more activity you do, the more LinkedIn, or the higher LinkedIn is going to rate you in regards to your group contribution level. So I've seen it for me go as high as finding an audience. I haven't seen the next one. Maybe I need to be a little bit more deliberate in my LinkedIn activity and see if this analytics, in fact, does change. But group activity, your group contribution level is another analytic. Now, the other analytic within LinkedIn is 100% a sales tool. We have to accept that this is a sales tool. That being said, I do like the analytics. The social selling index, which is accessible through linkedin.com/sales/SSI, I do like the analytic. I like the way they break it down from brand, establishing a brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and building relationships. And the two that I am the most proud about, this does show that I'm doing a decent job about it. It says I've got a 25 on establishing your brand, and I have a 25 on building relationships. Now, areas that I can improve based on this analytical tool is connecting with more of the right people who are interested in social media consulting, LinkedIn training, public speaking, etc., and engaging more. The other thing I like about this analytics is that when you point at these things, it gives you a little bubble and tells you what it says. And the other thing I really like about it is if I come down here, you can see that it compares me to the people in my industry and people in my network. If I click on any one of these, then it brings up a SlideShare deck, and it gives you even more insights into what you can do and how do people perceive or engage with your content when you establish a brand appropriately, find the right people, engage better, and build relationships. I really like these little SlideShare bubbles that pop up because they've got some fairly interesting information here. Well worth reading. 2 more things to show you. The next thing is they'll show you is outside of LinkedIn. Go to Google and search for your keywords and see what comes up. These are my keywords, LinkedIn Coach Trainer, and if I hit enter, no region, just LinkedIn Coach and Trainer, TLBurriss comes up. Now, I wish that I could tell you for myself that I show up number 1 on LinkedIn Trainer, but on the first page, nobody does. But if I put LinkedIn Trainer and then I put a region, then I do come up number 1. And if I change the region to any one of my primary regions, I still am number 1. And if I change it to Triad, North Carolina, which is the overarching, I'm still number 1. So do a Google search for your keywords and see what content shows up. As far as LinkedIn analytics, if you build your profile right, then you could rank high on the first page or rank in an area where you want to be for those words. The last thing to show you is what I really like. It's called, the tool's called Wordle. So if I go to my profile and I copy my profile, I'm going to view profile as, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of my profile. I'm going to open up some more of my recommendations, and I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to copy the entire profile. By the way, if you do this in Chrome and you start at the very bottom, it copies very quickly. If you start at the top, it's painful. So I copy my entire profile, which copies all the words. Just hit Command C or Control C. So I open Wordle.net in Firefox, and then I hit Create, and when I hit Create, comes this box, and I paste with Control V or Command V. I paste all that text into this box, and when I hit Go, it's going to come up and ask me to run a Java app, and I say OK, and it creates this. It's a word cloud of my LinkedIn profile content, and the words that are the largest are the words that are most predominant in my profile. So if I am a LinkedIn coach and trainer, if I'm a social media consultant, then I'm showing the right words here. I've got LinkedIn coach, LinkedIn trainer, I got social media. So this is a really cool little tool. You can play with it lots of different ways, and you can edit it however you want to edit it, and make it look really neat. It's a great word cloud that you can then print out and use in different places. Bottom line is, use Wordle.net, copy all the text from your LinkedIn profile, paste it in Wordle, and then create a word cloud. There are lots of ways to do analytics on LinkedIn to see where you stand. You can see who's viewed your profile, who's viewed your post, how you rank, and look and see if you're showing up where you want to show up. You can look at your LinkedIn activity and see what kind of activity you're getting, what kind of engagement you're getting. You could do a Google search for the words that are in your LinkedIn profile and see where you show up on the LinkedIn results. And lastly, you could do a Wordle word cloud. All of these different ideas are ways that you can do analytics on your profile, your content, and your network, just to see if you are showing up, if your content is relevant, if it's being viewed and used by the right people, and big picture, are you showing up on LinkedIn? I'm TLBurriss, Burriss Consulting, your LinkedIn trainer, coach, consultant, and instructor. If I can help you in any way, please reach out to me.